Hey guys, and welcome back to another FM22 Transfer Guide with me, Raxel FM, where today we are going over 3 signings and 3 sales for Newcastle United, a side that a lot of you will be looking at as a very viable option for a long-term FM save, which is exactly why I've decided to make this video. They haven't had a lot of success recently in terms of winning trophies, but they've been solid in the Premier League for a while. And of course, I've just had a massive takeover, meaning that they are now the richest football club in the world generally. And to be honest, I thought it would come up on this tab, but it doesn't. So we're just gonna go straight back to that one. There it is down there. If you guys are excited for that episode, please make sure you do smash the like button on today's episode, as well as subscribing to the Lascelles FM YouTube channel so you don't miss the daily Football Manager content coming with some transfer guides here and there. An FM save running at all times. We've got a Liverpool beta save and a Salford City save running right now. So go subscribe, check it all out, and let's jump into what you need to do to improve this Newcastle side, because there is a lot that needs to be done. However, as I'm sure you all know, you've got £200 million to do it. That is easily the biggest budget I've ever seen in Football Manager in the first window. I don't know if it is, but I would bet a lot of money to say it is actually the biggest, and we can do quite a hefty amount with that. And in terms of club vision, I think they're being fair. To be fair, you know, they're giving us £200 million. You'd kind of expect top half finish. They don't want us to do an insane amount in terms of, you know, building for the future. They just want us to sign high reputation players and grow the club's reputation. Just build them towards being a Champions Cup spot in the spot side in the future, which is exactly what they want you to do in that long-term goal. So based off that, I think the younger players might be the way to go, selling some of our players that are getting a wee bit older and aren't going to play much football. The team that we do have at our disposal does actually have a couple of players in there that, you know, is worth a wee bit of money and not really being used. So let's jump into the 3 sales that we are going to be making to add to our £200 million. Yeah, realistically, we're just trying to get rid of players. We're not trying to build up the transfer budget here. Our first sale that we are making is a man that kind of fits the exact category that we were just talking about. A 31-year-old Matt Ritchie is going to be leaving the club. He's already transfer listed. This is not my doing. This is pre-decided. And I think he's had some good time at Newcastle Football Club, coming in from Bournemouth quite a few years ago. But I think his time is certainly up. Being 31 years of age, no room for improvement. Some youngsters coming through the ranks. To be honest, who's even using a left mid and a right mid at this point in the game? But even in left wing and right wing, he doesn't really fit the mould, especially with options such as, not Dwight Gale. I was about to say Dwight Gale. I'd be very embarrassed if I said that. Almiron can play in that position. Of course, you've got Saint-Maximin all the way down here, and you've got the other guy on the right-hand side. Oh, yes, another Bournemouth player, Ryan Fraser up here. All of them much better options than him. He's not the worst player of all time, but for £4.6 million and with £45,000 a week, it's good to cash on him right now while we still can, before he gets completely useless in this game. In this save, we've managed to get rid of him for a very respectable £4.6 million to Burnley, who are probably going to use the man quite often in their squad. Kind of suits as a backup to Dwight McNeil on the left-hand side, or maybe even a starter on the right-hand side. But all we know is, for us, that is money that we can now reinvest into the club, even though when you get £4 million, £200 million isn't, you know, it's not a lot, is it? But it's good to get some names off the books. The next player that we're getting rid of is who I would say is the most obvious of the sales, just because there's no use for him. We've got many better goalkeeper options, and he's already once again listed on the transfer list. So, you know, it's already been decided for us. Mark Gillespie is going to be leaving the club, and that's just because we do have better options, as I just said. Darlow's in there, we've got Dubravka, and even Woodman is a better goalkeeper than him. And at 29 years of age, he's certainly not going to get any better at football. He's certainly not going to get any more expensive in terms of transfer market value, so we may as well get rid of him right now. He's not been at the club for a very long time, hasn't played a single game during that time. So, yeah, again, realistically, we're just getting rid of players for the sake of it, aren't we? We did manage to sell him to an MLS side for £650,000. Now, if that was a normal Newcastle season, that would be a very good fee, but obviously that is basically a penny in terms of the transfer value that we do have at the moment. But, you know, it's getting rid of a player. Let's go sell one last player before we jump into the transfers. I know that's why you're all here, boys and girls. The last player that's going to be leaving the club is once again a bit of an older man, and someone that has actually been at the club for quite some time. It's Kieran Clark. He's going because we have so many options in that centre-back position. And to be honest, he's probably one of the worst ones. If I go to the squad screen, go to squad depth, and take a look at the centre-backs, he's apparently the third best, but I think I would definitely rank Shah ahead of him. We've even got Dummett who can come back into that position, Kraft and Hayden, and, you know, being the oldest and the easiest to sell. To be honest, I did try and sell Fernandez, but no one was really biting, so decided to go with Clark instead, and he's actually worth a wee bit more money than Fernandez, so that's the reason that I've done it, obviously, boys and girls. 31 years of age, a bit of experience, going to be a great player for whoever he gets signed by, but is he going to turn into a star player for a Champions League club in the future? You know. We've managed to get rid of him to Dynamo Kiev, so he's going to be making a bit of money over there in Ukraine, I want to say. I'm not certain. I'm really not certain. £3 million we've got rid of him for, so that is a decent fee for a man of his age, a man of his ability, and, you know, world reputation. So happy to take that into the bank account. And overall, we made about, what, like 4.5 plus 600 is like 5 million. We made like 8 million. So we've gone up to £208 million. So it could help. It could help. Let's go take a look at what we need to improve, and then let's go sign some players. Of course, first we need to highlight the areas, as I just said. Let's take a look at the team. So this is the squad that we're going with. I've just got it in a basic gegenpress formation, and if I go without restrictions and go to the best 11, some gaps in the squad very quickly come up, and we can identify those gaps straight away with my favourite screen in the entire game, especially for these episodes. It is the squad depth screen, and let's just go through it. Let's see where we can improve, and let's buy some players as a result. Up top, we can see we've got Charlie Wilson, that shows my football knowledge, doesn't it? Callum Wilson, Dwight Gale, Joelinton, all being able to play in that position. I'd say that although we don't have a real star striker, Charlie Wilson's definitely going to bag some goals for us. You know, he's got some great stats in there, 16 finishing, 16 pace. He is getting on, don't get me wrong, but I don't feel like it's a desperate position to improve right now. Out on the left wing, you've got Saint-Maximin. Do I need to say anything more? You're fine on left wing, boys and girls. Right wing, however, you've got Ryan Fraser, and then a couple of other players that can play in that position, but no one insane. So I could understand if you were looking to strengthen that position, but I think using Saint-Maximin and Ryan Fraser as your wingers for the first season, it's definitely going to be a decent duo out on those wings. Whereas at cam position, you've got Almiron, you've got Hendricks, you've got Saint-Maximin who can step up in there, Joe Willock, I think you're absolutely fine there. Youngsters in there, experienced players, decent players in there. I don't think you even slightly need to worry about that position. However, in central midfield, Joe Willock, who we've just identified as potentially a player in that cam position. I mean, he definitely will be playing in the centre mid position, but, you know, I'm just making an argument here. He doesn't even have a very good partner, and I think that is immediately a red flag because he needs one. Realistically, I don't think Shelby, Hendricks, Hayden or Longstaff are going to be at the level that we need right this minute. Longstaff definitely going to be a good man for the future, but right now, is it what we need? I'd say this is one of the weak points with only one player on 3-star current ability. If we go to the right back position though, we are arguably in a worse position. We've got this Kraft man who doesn't look great. Mankio is never been incredible for Newcastle, so I think that is one of our straightaway key positions to strengthen. However, on the left-hand side, we've got Jamal Lewis, who can still improve in the future, and we've got Dummett if he doesn't play very well. So two decent options out there, nothing too desperate to improve as things stand right now. In the centre-back position, we've got Lascelles, who's 27 years of age, and Shah, who's 29, as well as Fernandez, who can do a job at 32 years of age. I do think, however, it does need to be shored up a wee bit. If we're going to be playing in the Premier League, one of the most attacking leagues in the world, we need good centre-backs. I think that needs to be improved upon if we're going to actually compete for titles. Then if we go to the goalkeeper position, of course we're fine. Dubravka, Darlow, Woodman, absolutely fine. No need to improve right this minute. So, going over the recap, I think the right wing / left wing position could be improved, but not so desperate. Central midfield definitely needs to find a new player. Right back certainly needs to be a priority, and centre back should be improved as well. Let's dip into the market. Let's make some transfers. I think you already know who the first one's going to be. Max Aarons, we all know him. He is an absolute FM wonderkid. He's got a potential of 5-star current ability and already at 3.5 current ability, shoring up that defence straight away and certainly shoring up that right back position. He's come in from Norwich, not on a hugely cheap fee, but I think a very fair £55 million. You're paying for a player that is going to be there all the way to the end of your save, who is going to be able to add the English element that we need, as well as just having some decent stats straight away. Absolutely love this signing. Think he's a great pickup at £55 million out of 200 million is really not bad at all. 21 years of age as well. Like, did I mention that? I hope I mentioned that because he is young. Next up, we have brought back Mikel Merino, and I think that Newcastle fans in real life might not be that stoked about this, because in real life he wasn't amazing for Newcastle. He wasn't bad at all, but he's turned into a completely different monster in the La Liga, and we've activated a release clause of £38.5 million. Why is it so low? And we've brought him back to the Newcastle Stadium. I don't know the stadium. That's bad. I think it's I'm worried that it's the Sunderland one. I get them mixed up, so I'm not going to say that just in case I insult any Newcastle fans. Look at those stats though. Able to play perfectly as a box-to-box midfielder, as a deep line playmaker, basically any position, any role you need in that central midfield area, he is going to be your man. And he comes in with such a low fee. I think my theme of this is trying to spend your money, but also spend it very wisely and intelligently, so you're not just splashing the cash left, right and centre. He's also 25 years of age, so plenty of room to grow, improve, be consistent for years to come. He's probably going to be good for you for at least another 5 seasons. I don't think there's any reason why you'll need to be strengthening that centre mid position. With him and Willock playing there, you're going to be sorted for many, many years to come. And our last signing is arguably our best signing. The man I brought in my Liverpool beta save, it is Jules Koundé, and he comes in for a staggering £68 million, a record fee, but I think a record fee for a very good reason. This man has already got the ability of a world-class centre-back, and he's 22 years of age, and he still has half a star to improve. I want to see what he looks like when he has improved. He is instantaneously going to shore up that defence for you, going to be able to make sure goals don't go into the back of the net, be next to Lascelles or Shah, whoever you decide to put in there, with Aarons just to his right and Merino just ahead of him. He's going to be a brilliant player for many, many years to come. Probably a good 10 years you'll get out of him, and I don't think he'll be thinking about changing it too soon. It's also a bit of a decent fee, you know, £68 million. It's pretty short change for an elite centre-back, especially one who is this young, this good already. I think I've done some brilliant business here, and I think the best thing is, you've still got £44 million to spend, boys and girls. I think I definitely use the money in the most efficient and intelligent way I possibly could. If we go to quick pick and go to our best 11, of course, all of the players that we just signed get straight into the lineup. Merino in there next to Willock, Koundé next to Lascelles, Aarons at right back. With a decent team around them, I'd say Dummett has to be brought out for Lewis just to try and give that man a wee bit more game time, a wee bit more development. And you'll notice that I didn't strengthen the attack. I think that's because in Football Manager, don't really need to strengthen Newcastle's attack. Wilson, Saint-Maximin, Almiron and Fraser are all really good players in game. They're going to score you goals. It's just a defense that is going to let you down at times if you do this save an FM. But if you are that worried about buying a striker, having an attacker that is going to be world class, I've left you £44 million, boys and girls. Go sign someone. Find, like, I don't know, just be standard. Get yourself a Martinez. Get all of it on later fees. You could probably sign him right now for about £40 million, have £40 million after he reaches 50 league appearances, and then you're absolutely sorted for the entire season. Our media prediction is now going to be to finish in 7th position. I've made good signings, boys and girls. Thank you guys so much for watching this. If it has helped you, please smash the like button. Please let me know down in the comment section below who you want me to be doing a 3 signings and 3 sales for. Up next, I will be uploading a Barcelona 3 signings and 3 sales in a couple of hours. I think it's coming out later today, so hopefully you check that out too. Subscribe to the Lascelles FM YouTube channel if you enjoyed it, and I will see you all later.